Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Think Future. My name's Chris Kalaboukis, and once again, we're coming at you live from deep in the heart of Silicon Valley, California. We're talking innovation startups of the future, not necessarily those, and not necessarily in that order. If you're watching on YouTube, smack that subscribe button and hit that bell so you can be notified when a new show comes online. And if you're listening on your favorite podcast service, please subscribe. Please drop a note on Apple Podcasts. I greatly appreciate it. Now, are you happy with your life? Are you a happy person? Are you okay where you are? Most people aren't. Most people are very unhappy with what they are. They're actually degrees of unhappiness, right? There's people who are, a very small percentage, I think, of people are pretty happy where they are. But most of us, we want to change things about ourselves. We want to lose weight, we want to quit smoking, we want to drink less. There's lots of things that human beings want to do. We strive to change ourselves. In fact, if you ask me, probably, let me guess, probably 70% of people out there probably want to change something about themselves. Probably higher than that. Say 80-90% of people out there want to change something about themselves. There's something about themselves that they don't like. There's a goal that they're having trouble reaching, and they're having a really tough time reaching it. They've tried all sorts of different things to reach this goal. And then maybe if they reach this goal, they'll be happy. But everyone knows that when it comes to happiness, we're only ever about 70% happy. We can never get over 70% happy. You've seen the statistics on happiness, right? So whenever they do surveys on happiness, people are happy 70% of the time or something like that. And then when something happens in their lives that's good, there's a spike in happiness. And then it kind of slowly over time comes back down to about 70%. And then when something really bad happens in somebody's life, it goes down, it spikes downwards. But then after a while, that person gets used to the situation they're in, and their happiness comes back up to around 70%. So our happiness level is going to stay the same no matter what happens. If something really good happens, there's a momentary spike. If something really bad happens, there's a momentary spike, but our happiness level is about the same. But despite that, there's still people who are unhappy with where they currently are, whether it is weight loss or whatever. And the reason why we're unhappy is because there's a goal that we're trying to reach, and we haven't reached that goal. It's kind of like, I wanted to be a millionaire by the time I'm 30, but I've only made 500,000, so I'm not a millionaire. Oh, I hate myself. So you either change the goal or you change your actions towards that goal. So this is, and if you think about it, this is what makes us happy. The reality is what makes us happy is reaching a goal, setting a goal and reaching a goal. I want to be married by this day. I want to marry a good-looking person. I want to marry someone with a lot of money. I create these goals for myself, these targets that I'm trying to reach, and then if I don't reach them, I'm very unhappy. I want to lose 20 pounds in 6 months, and then I only lose 10. Damn it. So how do you deal with this? How do you make yourself happy? And there's people on either side of the coin. There's people who say, well, change your goal. If you can't make it down 20 pounds, then make it down 10 pounds. Oh, I reached my goal and feel happy. But if you ask me, that's really the wrong way of going about it. In fact, if you ask me, that's the advice that a lot of people give. They say, well, if you're not going to be happy being this weight, then why don't you be 10 pounds higher or 20 pounds higher or the weight you are now? Why don't you just be happy being the weight you are now? Well, maybe there's other reasons why I want to lose weight. Maybe I want to lose weight because I don't think I look good. Maybe I want to lose weight because I want to fit it better into my clothes. Maybe I want to lose weight because I want to be healthier. I want to live longer. So changing the goal isn't the option. But I think a lot of people look at changing the goal now and they say, well, all we have to do is change the goal. Be easier to get to that goal. If you make it easier to get to that goal, are you really winning? Are you really getting ahead? I mean, what happened to ambition? If you ask me, all you have to do is double down your efforts to get to that goal. And you really need to change your behavior, because I think everything comes down to this. I had a really great conversation last week with Cedric Bryant from Ace Fitness. And we were talking about weight loss, and we were talking about being healthy. And the interesting thing I got after that conversation, I thought to myself, yes, it does come down to behavioral change. Because really, one of the main reasons why a lot of us are happy, we're not meeting our goals, no matter what it is, whether it's weight loss, whether it's, looking for someone to marry or whatever, or looking for a mate, or looking for whatever it is your goal is, the reason why we're not reaching our goals is because our behavior isn't aligning with the ability for us to reach those goals. Something is stopping us from changing our behavior to get to those goals. And the biggest reason why that's the case is because human beings are driven by inertia. We just love doing the same thing we've always been doing, even though it doesn't contribute to the goal that we're trying to reach. So the reality is that we need to change our behavior, but behavior change is the most difficult thing for human beings to do because it pushes us outside of our comfort zone. We have to get uncomfortable in order to change. In order to change our behavior, we have to undertake a behavior that's different from the behavior we've been doing all this time. In fact, the behavior which is tied to our sense of self. If you think about it, if people act differently, they feel like they're being incongruent with who they are. But the reality is that you can change the kind of person you are like that. If you want to wake up tomorrow and be somebody completely different, you can. But you don't. And it's not just because of your personal behavior. It's also about your environment. Everything around you is expecting you to be like that, right? Can you imagine if all of a sudden you woke up the next day and said, I'm only going to eat 800 calories a day from now on? Can you imagine what your friends are going to say? Can you imagine what your wife's going to say? Can you imagine what your doctor's going to say? All of these people are going to say, don't do that, don't do that, don't do that, don't do that. Even though it's a behavior change that might help you reach your goal, you're going to have so much pushback on that. You're going to say to yourself, whoa, no wonder I can't change my behavior. I don't have any even supporting me. So behavior change is the key. It's the key to everything. The key to happiness is to either change your goal to match where you are today, and then boom, you'll be happy. Just like that. That's the easy way. Or to change your behavior. And when you change your behavior, be ready for so much pushback because everyone sees you as you are right now. It's just like when you're working in an organization. When you're working in an organization and you're trying to get promoted, it's damn near impossible because people see you in that role doing what you're doing, and that is what they identify you with. If you're a product manager and you want to become the director of product management, they're going to say, no, this person's such a great product manager. Why would I want to promote him to director of product management? You see what I'm saying? Our environment, everybody around us sees us with the behavior that we're doing now, and they align that behavior with our character. So I think that's one of the other reasons why it's so difficult to change your behavior, because your character is so tied in with your behavior that when you try to change your behavior, then sometimes people think that your character has changed and you're a different person, and they might not like that person because they're used to that person being the way they are. So it's very difficult to change your behavior, but it can be done. But don't give up and don't change your goals. Push hard to change your behavior. Go where you want to go. That, if you ask me, that will give you the spike of happiness that you're looking for. That's it for me for today. See you next time, and until then, don't forget to think future.